Hi friends, Amy Catapan here. On my YouTube channel, I'm usually bringing you interviews with authors who have new books releasing, or I'm maybe doing a little video about teaching, or on occasion even talking about my favorite TV show, The Chosen. But today I want to talk about something else that is being distributed in 2024 by Angel Studios. Now, they're the people who brought us The Chosen originally. They were their distribution company. And I recently found out about this movie they have coming out in 2024, and I'm really excited about it. So I wanted to share with you the trailer for the movie and why I'm so excited about it and why this means so much to me. So as many of you know, I have one book out for educators already called Sweet Jesus, Is It June Yet? And it looks at how Jesus was a rabbi, a teacher, and what we teachers can learn from him as educators that's going to help us in our work so that we burn out less. And in my next book coming out in late spring or early summer of 2024 is called A Saint Squad for Teachers, 42 Heavenly Friends to Carry You Through the School Year. And as the subtitle suggests, it is a study of 42 different saints who were tied to education, a lot of them classroom teachers themselves, or catechists, or school administrators, or priests or nuns who started religious orders that started schools. And one of the saints in the book that I spent time on is St. Francis Xavier Cabrini. And so Angel Studios is going to be distributing this new movie called Cabrini, all about the life of Mother Cabrini, St. Francis Xavier Cabrini. And I could have talked about her much longer in the book than I did. Like I said, there's 42 saints in there. And the St. Francis Xavier Cabrini part was a part that my editor was like, you're going to have to cut this down. I'm like, but there's so much good stuff to talk about with her. There's even a shrine to Mother Cabrini here in Chicago. And I ended up picking up all these books about Mother Cabrini for my research. And then I had to, shrink it all down into, okay, it's not that small, but I had to shrink it down to just a few pages worth in the book so I could, fit in all the other saints who were educators. So I'm really excited about this movie from Angel Studios called Cabrini. Now, why is the fact that it's about Mother Cabrini so endearing to me? I'm really looking forward to this because I don't know if you've ever had a saint seeming like they're chasing you, right? Like over my adult years, I've definitely had times St. Catherine of Siena seems to be everywhere I go. Padre Pio pops up intermittently at times. He just seems to pop up when he needs to. But Mother Cabrini is one that in the last couple of years has really been popping up a lot. And I've discovered I have 8 things in common with Mother Cabrini. So here are 8 reasons I'm really excited about a movie about her. And then we're going to watch the trailer. And I'll tell you some more reasons why I think this movie might actually be a good movie. You know how a lot of saint movies aren't actually that appealing to watch? I think this one's going to be different, just like The Chosen is different. So anyways, 8 reasons why I feel a real kinship with Mother Cabrini. Numero uno, we're both Italian-American women. I was born here. My grandfather was an Italian immigrant. And when he came to Chicago, he met my grandmother, who was the daughter of Italian immigrants. Mother Cabrini was born in Italy, but she did become a naturalized citizen in the US in the early 1900s. Numero due, both of us are petite. On a good day, I'm 5'2". Mother Cabrini was less than 5 feet. Don't mess with short Italian women. Just going to give you that piece of advice. Numero tre, both Catholic. Certo, of course. Numero cuatro, both of us teachers. Both also having worked in public and parochial schools. Did you know Mother Cabrini started as a public school teacher in Italy? If you go to the National Shrine in Chicago, you can actually see a copy of her Italian public school teacher's license. Numero cinque, we are both fans of Ignatian spirituality and have Jesuit priest friends. So if you follow me on social media, you know that I have a number of Jesuit priest friends. I am twice Jesuit educated. I went to Marquette for my undergraduate and Loyola Chicago for my doctorate in education. I've given retreats for teachers based on the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius of Loyola. My younger brother works at a Jesuit retreat house. Mother Cabrini, she took her middle name, Xavier, from her missionary hero, St. Francis Xavier, who was good friends with St. Ignatius. And she always had her sisters take an 8-day retreat once a year. And she trained them in Ignatian spirituality and went through the spiritual exercises with them on retreat. Numero 6. We both have a special interest in caring for immigrant children. So Mother Cabrini was sent to the US to look after the Italian immigrants who were facing terrible prejudice in the United States in the late 1800s. And my dissertation is on using culturally relevant young adult literature to engender empathy for immigrants and middle grade readers. So my whole dissertation was on immigrants. I've worked with lots of children of immigrants and children who are immigrants themselves. So we both have a special place in our hearts for immigrant and immigrant children. Numero 7. We both have ties to Chicago. I was born just north of the city of Chicago in Evanston, Illinois, along Lake Michigan there. And Mother Cabrini died here in Chicago, just a little ways further down the Lake Michigan shoreline in the hospital that she had started. And finally, finalmente, numero 8. We both struggled with learning a second language. Despite spending 2-3 weeks at a time over numerous summers in Italy and taking Italian classes here in the Chicago area, I still have not mastered Italian. I can get by traveling on my own in Italy, even going to small towns by myself, and if they don't speak English. I got enough Italian to get by, but I'm not really conversational yet. And Mother Cabrini was always nervous about speaking English. Like me, I think she felt more confident with reading it than with speaking it. And so that's an area I can relate to her, is wanting to learn that other language for her English, for me Italian, and still struggling with it and not really feeling confident about it. All right, so that's 8 reasons why I love Mother Cabrini. Let's watch the trailer for the movie that's due to come out March 2024 from Angel Studios on Mother Cabrini, and then we'll go back and take a look at a few little special parts of it.
I see trees of green.
Dear reader,
Red roses too.
New York is built upon the dead.
I see them bloom for me and you.
I tuoi genitori, Paolo?
And I think to myself,
Mio papà si è suicidato
what a wonderful.
e mia mamma è morta di tifo in carriola.
I see skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright blessed days, the dark sacred night. And I think to myself,
Madre, un telegramma dal Vaticano.
If I made you the first woman ever to lead an overseas mission, the whole world would look to you as proof of what woman can or cannot accomplish.
If we are to build an empire of hope, my sisters, it seems we must first conquer New York.
Welcome to America.
So you let a woman push you around. An Italian woman. Is that how you run your church?
Open your hearts.
You are to leave New York and never return.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I am a woman, and I am Italian. And we are all human beings. We are all the same.
It's a shame that you're a woman, Mother. You would have made an excellent man.
No, men could never do what we do.
All right, wow. What a cool trailer, right? I mean, it looks fantastic. Okay, just like with The Chosen, it's pretty obvious that this movie has some really talented people behind it, right? I had a chance to watch a live stream with the director, one of the producers, and somebody from Angel Studios interviewing them. And the director was talking about how they spent so much time going over the script, planning each and every shot because they wanted the movie to look beautiful. And you can tell just watching the trailer that there's a lot of deliberate thought that went into each of these shots. For example, they showed that one scene where the Archbishop and Mother Cabrini are facing opposite directions because they have opposing viewpoints right there. He's telling her to go back to Italy, and she's like, no, not gonna do it. The Pope sent me here, I'm staying. So just those kind of cinematographic decisions, I think are going to really make this movie stand out. It just looks like it's so well done. Another thing I love is they got Italians to play the Italians. Like the actress who's playing Mother Cabrini is from Naples. And I love that they kept some of the Italian language in there, right? So we have to read along with the subtitles if we don't understand Italian, but it's in there. So that helps us put ourselves in that place of somebody using a new language. And then for the American parts, I love that they have John Lithgow playing the mayor of New York. Did you catch him in the trailer? I'll play it again so you can see it. You probably remember him from movies like Terms of Endearment or Footloose, or from the TV show Third Rock from the Sun. He's going to be one of those characters I think I'm going to love to hate in there. But let's go back and watch the trailer again for a bit. And I'm going to pause it a few moments to point out some things that I noticed.
I see trees of green.
Okay, first of all, great quote from her. I don't know where they found that quote. I haven't found it in any of the books I've read on Mother Cabrini. But yeah, she had to be very bold to do what she did.
Dear reader,
Red roses too.
New York is built upon the dead.
I see them blue.
It was a huge problem here that a lot of the Italian immigrants died and children were left without parents. And that's one of the reasons Mother Cabrini was working on building orphanages in addition to schools.
And you.
I tuoi genitori, Paolo?
And I think to myself,
Mio papà si è suicidato
what a wonderful.
e mia mamma è morta di tifo in carriola.
I see.
So right there, we see an orphan boy. So I'm assuming this character is going to be kind of our representative orphan. So we can follow Mother Cabrini's work with orphans in there. And again, you can see the Italian being used, which I love.
Skies of blue and clouds of white. The bright, blessed days, the dark, sacred night. And I think to myself,
Madre, un telegramma dal Vaticano.
I love this. Madre, un telegramma del Vaticano. I'm assuming this telegram is the telegram telling her she has a meeting with Pope Leo the 13th, because she was trying to get her new order of sisters formalized and approved. And she really, if you don't know her story, she really wanted to be a missionary to the East, like her missionary hero, St. Francis Xavier. That's why she took, again, Xavier as her middle name. She already was Francesca, the feminine form of Francis in Italian. She already was Francesca, so she just had in the Xavier. to match with St. Francis Xavier. So I'm assuming this is the telegram telling her she's having her meeting with the Pope.
If I made you the first woman ever to lead an overseas mission, the whole world would look to you as proof of what woman can or cannot accomplish.
I'm really interested in seeing how they portray Pope Leo XIII. I don't know a ton about him, but I do know from my research, he is also the one who told St. Catherine Drexel to go start her own community to care for Native Americans and African Americans here in the US. She had gone to the Pope and said, she was a wealthy young woman. She'd gone to the Pope and said, hey, I've traveled a lot in Europe and in America, and I'm seeing the plight of the Native Americans and the African Americans. Could you send some priests? And he said, oh, I'm going to send you instead. You go take care of them. So it'll be interesting to see how he's portrayed. On the one hand, you might look at him and go, oh, why wasn't he generous with the priests and send some more priests? You could look at it that way. Or you could look at here is a Pope empowering women. First empowering Mother Cabrini. You go do this. You go take care of the Italian immigrants. And then empowering St. Catherine Drexel and saying, you go do this. You go take care of the Native Americans and the African Americans. So part of me wants to really love him. I don't know that much about him to know what the rest of his character was like. So it'll be interesting to see how he's portrayed in this movie. But I am grateful that he empowered these two women to be such heroes, especially in the world of education in the United States.
If we are to build an empire of hope, my sisters, it seems we must first conquer New York.
This is a phrase that came up a lot in the live stream with the director, this idea of the empire of hope, which if you look at my website right now, it says stories with heart and hope. Hope is a theme that has been important in my writing. And so it's really cool to see Mother Cabrini's story portrayed in a way where hope is an important theme there as well.
Welcome to America.
So you let a woman...
I'm going to pause for a moment. The director here is Alejandro Monteverde. And yes, he was the director for Sound of Freedom. He also directed Bella, if you're familiar with that pro-life movie. So the guy knows what he's doing, right? And I appreciated in that live stream where he talked about how careful he was. They were shooting during COVID. They really couldn't waste any time on set with the actors. So they had to plan everything very carefully ahead of time so they could get just the right shots and just the way with the right lighting and everything, and not waste any of their time or their money. And from the trailer, it looks like he did a fantastic job.
Push you around. An Italian woman. Is that how you run your church?
Did you catch that? That was John Lithgow's character. That's the mayor of New York telling Archbishop Corrigan, the Archbishop of New York, well, basically berating him for listening to a woman, and even worse than that, an Italian woman telling him what to do. Now, according to this book that I got at the shrine of Mother Cabrini, Archbishop Corrigan was known for being easily influenced by others. So he could have been easily influenced by Mother Cabrini at times, by the mayor at times, that he was kind of always shifting his position on things depending on who had talked to him and who was, who had kind of gained his ear. So that'll be another interesting thing to watch in this movie. Are we going to see Corrigan, the Archbishop of New York, vacillating a lot?
Gentlemen, open your hearts.
You are to leave New York and never return.
Did you see that shot? That was the one I was talking about with the Archbishop and Mother Cabrini at odds with each other, facing in opposite directions. That's the kind of cool direction they're doing in this film.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I am a woman, and I am Italian. And we are all human beings. We are all the same.
Okay, I hate to pause it, but I'm going to. You see in the well when they were throwing up the water? I'm pretty sure I know when that takes place. So there was a time when Mother Cabrini was getting land from the Jesuits. She wanted to move a little bit out of like Manhattan, and the Jesuits had some land they were ready to part with. But they warned Mother Cabrini, there's no water on this land. You're not going to get a well. And she always kind of had this attitude of the Lord will provide. Now, one of the books I read said that because her father was a fairly prosperous farmer, she also may have had more knowledge about where to find water on land than maybe some Jesuits had knowledge of. But the Jesuits did sell it to her at a low price. And shortly after they took the land, she told the sisters, dig there. And lo and behold, there was water for a well.
It's a shame that you're a woman, Mother. You would have made an excellent man.
No, men could never do what we do.
All right, so that kind of line makes me think of some of the writing in The Chosen, right? Like the I am the law of Moses line, right? Like he's like, ooh, gotcha, mic drop kind of lines. I hope there's more like that in the movie. I hope we aren't seeing all the kind of mic drop lines in the trailer. You know, that's always my fear sometimes, that the trailer's really great because they've picked out the very best stuff, and then the rest of the movie kind of falls flat. I'm also a little concerned about pacing. I don't know how long the movie's going to end up being. I hope they keep the pacing up. Sometimes in telling these stories, things can get dragged down a little bit, but I'm hoping the movie moves at a good pace. Overall, I'm really excited about it. I think it would be so cool to see this in the theaters. I know Angel Studios is doing like they've done for some of their other stuff. They're doing a pay it forward thing. So if you're excited about it and you want to help other people see it for free, like they were doing with Sound of Freedom, like they were doing with The Chosen, the whole pay it forward. I believe there's a whole pay it forward thing here. So when I get this video up on YouTube, I will find any links and share them with you below. If you are a fan of Saint Francis Xavier Cabrini, I would love to hear in the comments what your favorite thing is about her, especially if you're a teacher, if there's anything you've learned from her as an educator. Again, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, check out the link to my free teacher resources and my free newsletter so that you can find out when my book featuring Mother Cabrini comes out from Ave Maria Press in 2024. It'll probably be, I don't have the release date at the time of this recording, but if this Cabrini movie is coming out in March 2024, it may just be like 2 months later that my book is coming out. So it'll be good timing for us, I think. And I'll see you next time here. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll catch everyone later. God bless.